So now we're going to move on to foot pedals. We've got the chair positioned or set up the way we want, and so I just want some advice from you about how we should position the foot pedal. So I'm just going to sit in my chair because we've now decided that this is the right structure, and then I've basically got complete freedom as to where these pedals go. I actually feel a bit sorry for residents because they have to deal with every different attending setup for how they want the pedals and the buttons on it to structure. But let's set it up for me right now as an example. So I like having my phaco in front of my right foot and my microscope on the left foot. But I guess questions are, how far forward should this be? How far apart? What sort of angles should it be? So what would you advise?
So some of the things to think about when we're looking at the foot pedals, you want to ensure that they're certainly not too close together, because having them too close together, in this case, if they were something along those lines, I think you can agree that that feels relatively uncomfortable.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
At the same time, you don't want them too far apart, but having them further apart would allow your hips to open up a little bit more. And you're looking for that biofeedback. Your body will tell you what feels in that sort of comfortable, ideal spot. And again, what you want to be, oh sorry, go ahead.
Well, as I was doing that, I realized, oh, I went away from the backrest over here, so we got to have everything supported.
No,
yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good sort of framework to work off of. When we look at also the positioning of the foot pedals, whether they're further away or closer towards you, the one recommendation is not to have them certainly underneath the knee, because you don't want to be going any more than that 25 degrees of dorsiflexion. So again, looking for that position that allows you that nice range of that plantar flexion movement when you're trying to adjust and work with the pedals. And you'll find that nice sort of position, if you will. The other thing you want to think about is if you have those adjustable pedals or adjustable controls on the pedals, try to avoid having all the adjustable controls just to one side, for example, into external tibia rotation or to eversion as opposed to the inversion. So if you can, say, have 5 controls that you want to use or you typically use quite regularly, have those evenly dispersed one way and the other way, so you don't have an overuse of the foot working in one direction as opposed to the other direction over there. The other thing you can also pay attention to is if you have pedals that are perhaps one is not as high as the other, you certainly want to ensure that they're both at the same level. And sometimes by even doing something as simple as placing a towel underneath of the other pedal to bring up that height, and that'll ensure that your feet are at the same height as opposed to, I'm exaggerating here, but even having that kind of a difference will certainly affect what's happening at your hips and your low back over there.